I want to start by welcoming all to this Ministry of Land, South and Forty. The invitation for me here today, in respect of a matter, land matter, na Bathurst, Gloucester side. And this matter don't be outstanding for a long time. Now we call social media platforms, social media handles. We don't get several concerns. So the ministry, we don't come into this matter, don't investigate this matter, and don't come with a report. But before we go into the report, I want to quickly ask that we introduce fire. Let me know who that they inside this conference hall, because we send out invitations. So I start this way, we go and quickly, and let me know that they are. Yes, sir.
In the office of the president, we are the national outreach coordinator, and at the same time, they are serving the person.
This is Susan Williams, interim head woman, Gloucester.
Mr. Alamikoma of Gloucester.
Any Goma, native consulting and research center, Edmonton.
Simon Kamara in Gloucester.
Stakeholder Gloucester.
Alpha Kuma, Stakeholder Gloucester.
Retired staffs to read from Bathurst.
C.S. Kamara, Gloucester.
Sorry?
We not give you your name.
Nasi Kamara Gloucester.
Sheikh Abubakar Kago, Gloucester. Musa Kamaka, Gloucester.
Angonia Kamara, Gloucester.
Dr. M.S. Kune, Gloucester.
Sakomba, Gloucester, Sudato.
Mr. Jesse Kuma, Chairman, Pijaman, Zato. Thank you very much.
Ahmed Fufana, Gloucester.
Ahmed Gati, Gloucester. Mary Dixon, Pademba, Group of Companies. Mayor Dynasty, Penisula Group of Companies.
Good morning, Pademba Patina and Ibaka. I come up for the broadcasting at 8.1 FM.
Abasila, Sakoneso.
Ibrahim Sisi, Russian.
Mustafa Story, Grey Bob Media. Mano Global, Gloucester. Mano Global, Gloucester.
Mamia Mississippi, Gloucester.
Amadu Koronga, Gloucester.
Atikama, Gloucester.
Representing Ben Richards, Gloucester.
Odekoroma, Gloucester.
Apostle Louis, Stakeholder, Gloucester.
Tugasisi, Gloucester. Pademba, Gloucester.
Alice Kadangura, agent.
Momo Kamara, agent.
Lami Konte, Gloucester.
So fumble them. This is not the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. Today, the ministry don't investigate the long-standing land dispute within Bathurst, Gloucester, with several individual interests and institutional interests. And the ministry, they make the investigation recommendations and findings public today. So now the meeting with the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning.
So this is a
the leadership of the ministry day and all the interested parties present here.
Katimasare, Leicester. Christiana Williams, Gloucester.
Samuel J.S. Woody, Bathurst Village, former headman.
I am Theophilus Johnson, village head of Bathurst Village.
James Provincial, former youth chairman, Bathurst Village.
Alhaji Ibrahim Wadud Kone, Imam.
Bathurst. Abdul Karim Kamara, Bathurst Gloucester, land member.
Safumba, member, Bathurst Gloucester Road land.
Ajale, Gloucester.
Venkata Gukama, community stakeholder, Gloucester.
Mr. Sama, Bathurst Junction. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So in we meet, we also get the political leadership in the ministry. We get the Deputy Minister of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, Mrs. Phyllis Common. We get the Honorable Minister of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, Dr. Turat Senesi. And we also get the Deputy Minister of Mines, Mr. Umaru Napoleon Kuruma. I don't want to waste time because we say this is a quick business. I want to quickly introduce to the way they can take me through whose side this whole activity starts and where we are and what's the position. So that being said, I want for first, let me get the view of the minister before I introduce the procedure.
Good morning. You all. I appreciate on behalf of His Excellency the President, of course, particularly the Ministry of Lands, and I welcome you all to this conference, called press conference, on a matter whether they go on for some time now, reporter on land ownership. But before I go to that one, let me just give you some brief, what I call, information with respect to land governance itself. Because people get the way they look at land business as a governance. Get no side in terms of title. Just want to remind all Sierra Leoneans and say all land inside Sierra Leone, be it in the western area or in the provinces, all belong to the states, the government of Sierra Leone. All lands across Sierra Leone. Go to the national constitution and when I look at it will tell when I say the land now it makes Sierra Leone a sovereign state. Land. and you go to the schedule, it will tell you the coordinates of the land where makes the Leone a sovereign state. So any outside land in the state can get them, and the government of Sierra Leone can get them. In Freetown, now a direct ownership, Western area. All land in the Crown Colony in the Western area belong to the states. So if you get land where the title of that land not emanates from the state, not you get them. And the state never convey to you in the Western area. Also in bonds is the same thing. The land within 2 locations there, in addition to that of also the islands there, and the state get them. Nobody get them. So if you say that you get them, you don't buy them from Mr. A. Mr. A, where you don't buy them from, any own title for them come out from the states. So if you don't get them, then whatever document again are false, now forger. And falsified document. So people like in the past, what they call, I don't go here, so we know it's everything they happen in this country for quite some time. So for correct, most of that thing and dynamic now we get land reform will take place under the land administration project with this ministry. They implement. In the provinces, the land is there in the custody of the chiefs on behalf of the states. In the provinces, the land is there in custody of the chiefs on behalf of the states. So this question, people like, oh man, this person they talk to, this person they joke to. No, now the state, the government of Sierra Leone, get all land. The other land and makes Sierra Leone a sovereign state. So I think so we don't understand that they know so. Don't know that they know so. So this joke here, all man, they want to sell this, that. We go for stopper. And we go for allow the development take place in Sierra Leone. And the only way development will take place in Sierra Leone, who will use the land rightly. Not the way you go grab and you jump here and there. And sitting here may not allow you for them to make profit out of your misfortune. You go take all the land, then somebody they pass 1 town lot, for them go be those 2 town lot, then you go take, you say you get 400 acres, 600 acres, especially in the Western area. They miss it on how you allow and also they agree. The same right you get as a Sierra Leone, and this other man, when I'm Mr. B, he still gets. So you can't say the state land or they go sell and they make profit to buy baby want to buy they go up and now people have admire you, the other people they so and they agree. So the only way you go do for the pray God. Before the pray God they fast, for let them put me now, so the other person can't see they go compromise and they do am. And they do am. So that's the situation that we have. Today, we get so many cases that they run at the court with land grabbers. Now, because they don't refuse it and they agree for let them pass through me, now they don't go to the court. They want to use the court now for take all the land at the Western area, particularly. But we said they take with them for we explain to the courts. So that we will get the land and they will be able for distributors of Sierra Leone and say, but who fed nobody, but if a few people are not going to get the land, first today. If you see what's not happen of late, inside Western area don't cost more, not because of we're too powerful. No, now because we don't make too many people they don't also get access to land. So for a threat, not they get Mokuba land business. You don't get teachers they don't get, nurses they don't get, then the civil servants they don't get, then military they don't get, police they don't get. Okada riders they don't get. So now so they distribute small. They all man get small, but some man they know all things for those two. They will grab now they sell a bag there and the other people. We agree. So that's the situation that we have. So having said that, let's turn out to why we didn't have today. We didn't have today because we don't see too many things that happen on the social media. Journalism they write. People that will get telephone and they just they snap no more now. Things that sometimes they say, well, I don't know what they take me picture no more that they put at it for make a big. They blackmail we, they blackmail government, they blackmail individuals. The social media don't make the journalists don't pass snack. All man don't talk journalists. Nobody prostrate facts again. Nobody they talk to anybody again. When somebody sit down on one corner, it don't be a small thing. They don't put it in pocket. The next thing I for go blackmail people. So we call this press conference here today. We can explain certain things we don't see all the go around, like social media, particularly, and other press houses. That's therefore do with a case where one Honorable Rosalind Hawasafa, they gave for report to His Excellency the President. His Excellency the President, they therefore invite to all our State House. We go, the complainant explain. His Excellency the President say, well, there is a minister with 90 charge of land governance as a Leone. So I said, all go to that minister. Let the ministry go investigate and make sure say they come out with the report. The ministry, under the chairmanship of course, this chief minister, when I made the lies in all of that, because the office of His Excellency gave the assignment, so the chief minister was supervising the whole process. So the ministry investigated that particular report in terms of land ownership. We don't submit that report to the office of the president. The chief minister and the chairman, and the decision was taken on that report. From that day to now, all kinds of things we don't see on social media, all kinds of things we don't see on then newspapers and whatever. All kinds of course we don't see. So today we decided to say no, let us come and present that report to the public. Not only go to public owner, somebody don't grab, they don't go to public, they pay now, then journalists, they pay, then social media, bloggers, then here and there, they just the course with the blackmail government. So we say, well, let us come and present this report the way it is to members of the public and particularly the press. For let's say Leoneans they know the pains and problems they go through in terms of land governance. Let's say Leoneans they understand what other Sierra Leoneans they do to other Sierra Leoneans. That is the reason to do it now. So I think say after today, the social media will be satisfied. The journalists then also will be satisfied. Now what will they do? They just they do no more because one, but they do it in a professional manner. If you go take 1 or 2 bottles of whiskey, you go to their community there, you go give the hitman, and the hitman talks, yeah, this land has severe electrical. Then you think that you right, not that you right. And let me also remind Sierra Leoneans that when they say you're a hitman, your responsibility is people's management. Your responsibility has nothing to do with land governance. Not to your business for manage land. Your business now where small quarrel in their communities a day. You bring that to the attention of government if you're able to solve them. So your responsibility is for manage the human relations in your community, in your village. And that's your responsibility. Especially for the Western area, you hit man. You get now there's no business for take community land, they sell them. Where they talk now, they hide now behind. These are community land. Community land are land where the government they give to the community for specific purpose. Yes, sir. For markets, for school, for church, for hospital. These are the community lands. So those are your business for go take them for selling. You have no business with that. So what let's say Leoneans they know that. Let's say Leoneans they know that. Because now I don't see now that the new gold mine that where they say in my election people will kill themselves because of land. And who they really nobody sell land because we they sign up. Who they sign up? Once those say this are state land, who they sign up? So I want to tell them plenty thank you, I don't take my time for hire. I will now invite the director of service, who are the professional head of the ministry. This is not your business this. Me na political leadership be the key. But we can't do wait till a government land or wait not to government land and you don't work land. So you don't do the investigation in your department. So that they present now that report to members of the public. So that when I go be rest assured say, no, don't do the assignment, I will do it in a transparent manner. So having said that, I will ask the director to let him present. The deputy minister will be in charge of having another meeting at State House. I have to go now. So director, you can now present the report.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister, acting PS, and the Principal Accountant, the media team, and the journalists that are all within there, and the one that we come for represent the parties into the conflict. Welcome now to this presentation. Like the Minister said, this, I will talk about Creole, we all understand them clearly. This starting way, we serve as a ministry, don't the money we don't do everything for resolve this dispute among the parties, but we now feel say they're safe ready. So the ministry, we don't take this to a different level. We don't go do a thorough investigation. And prior to that investigation, we get all the parties and we be involved or submit and documents them. And we, as part of our investigation procedures, we start with the verification of the documents then. And after we check physically on the ground, and we see if waiting in a paper and waiting in a ground are the same. And we also check if the paper is correct. And we also look at how you get the property, whose side you get them from. The documentary you get them from, it will be correct. Because we get a new trend of activities that we don't see. People in the try for longer land through a process. We call it land laundering. We normally look at the documents someone how he gets. We look at whose side he come out, how you get and take them to this point to the claimant now. So this is a matter we therefore deal with some members of the public. We get the main parties into this conflict. Now one, Mr. Umaru Napoleon Kuruma, and two, Honorable Hawa Rosalie Safar. Honorable Napoleon Kuruma and Honorable Rosalie Safar. These are the two major people left in the conflict. We been asking them for submit documents them, and all the submit documents them. And they go through the documents and where they submit one after another. One for Mr. Umaru Napoleon Kuruma, they been submit a document when a statutory declaration registered in volume 56 at page 113, dated 28 November 2014, enclosing survey plan with delineated LS number 412-14, dated 9th May 2014, bearing the name of plot 1, a property we get 3 different plots. Plot 1, the name will be needed in Alpha Chroma, we cover 9.7 acres. Plot 2, the name we did in Mr. Joseph Kamara, it cover 9.9 acres. Plot 3, Mr. Mendy Silvanos James Bangura, we cover 9.7 acres of land we did Bathurst Road, Gloucester. And let us project this Leone see clearly which we talk about. I put the image under let us see. The property we talk about in yellow boundary. This one we see here, a property where, if you look at this map there, we see one plot in there, where it comes to, let us just untick all the wires so that we get them clear. We get 3 different plots. This first one here, the second one here, and the third one here. These are the 3 yellow plots in this. First, second, third. Now just take this one off so that we get this clear. So if you see one where they put on and off, and the plot and now we get 3 plots. Now you see I said 3 plots, right? Plot 1, plot 2, plot 3. So I just say I like time for everyone to see. Okay? Now, this na the document where Mr. Umaru Napoleon Kuruma, Honorable Umaru Napoleon Kuruma said. Okay, we'll come to Honorable Hawaii Salim Safar. He will give you a conveyance where they registered in volume 765, page 24, dated 10th March 2016, which includes a survey plan delineated with LS number 619-10, and it dated 26 March 2010 with plot 1 and 2, bearing the name of Development Initiative Program, covering an area of plot 1, 10.2124 acres, and plot 2, 6.3565 acre for land situated and being at Bathurst, Gloucester Road, Bathurst Village. Now, I will take on to that property there. Make on see. I think it will take time for load because of this image. You have to put the image so it will be faster. This the property we talk about now, a property where this is a property where when I see the highlight so on and off. This one, this property within when I see I'm not can't say when I see I'm waiting in pink. This way in pink boundary. Okay? So now in the property we talk about. Okay? Now, our therefore can display the map and zoom in for them to see the road, the Bathurst Gloucester road we talk about. For now, for just now, I see the property that we use. Then they will also give you another conveyance where register in volume 707, page 15, where on 18th March 2013, where we get LS number 5161. We dated 14th March 2012, we bearing the name of Action for Community Transformation and Sponsorship. We get 2 plots. We have plot 1, 2.39 acre, and plot 2, 3.45 acre. Where the property is, we combine them together, where they go with 5.something acres. This one. Okay? This property is the one in red, okay? The one in red, okay? So these are the property where it begins a split in the middle. For some reason, we just summarize on 2, we combine the 2. Now, this they give a total of over 5 acres, where a combination of 2.3945 acre plus 2.34 plus 2 and 3.45 acres. So 2.39 acres and 3.45 acres, they give 5.something acres. So this is the property what we talk about. 99 so in red. Okay? This is the property in red. Okay? So that's the other property where it submits. And a conveyance, the third document we submit again, a conveyance registered in volume 745, page 12, dated 19th February 2015, enclosing survey plan with delineated 45 LS number 4510/12, dated 20th of June 2012, and under the name of Development Initiative Program, where the 5 acres instead of 2 plots. 5 acres, 5.45 acres, and another 5.45 acres. We are 2 different plots there. So all inside Bathurst, Gloucester, at all road. So this is the property we talk about in red again. This other red. all they say. The first level we talk about, when are 5 acres, all we talk is this one. And we talk about the other 5 acres, when are this 10 acres, when are this one. Okay? So when we look at this one, these are the 2 property them where they submit for this area. Of course, these are the 3rd one now where I was supposed to submit. So when I take note of the 2 red then, and this one are pink where they up here, when are the 3 property then that way they also submit. Then we also get a survey site plan for development initiative again, where it been sent, where na development initiative when have been LST 465/16, when have been a resurvey and amendment to this 4501, we then do. Now, this is a property we talk about. The 4501, they talk about this one, when at 2010, and we talk about the one where they do the resurvey. Now, this property where they resurvey, nine fall, nine. This is the resurvey where they talk about. Now, let me take note. Normally, where we do a resurvey of property, we can get the reason why people do a resurvey. It is either this property naya, you don't get some small adjustment, or maybe this big sometimes they don't add small points naya or so, or sometimes they don't reduce panel, and that makes them they do a resurvey. Okay. Now, but for do a resurvey, then the land move from Musa Ide and completely come now this other points now this one way in light blue now. You see, it not only shift completely from in location, it also come completely now a different location, but a bigger, even comparatively bigger than we see we get. So I will come explain again waiting lead to some of them situations a day. So just so that we know, see the 3 property them, one of them like this pink, where it is submit, then one of them, the other one this red where you see now, so, and the other one this other red now. So we deal with this first red where they don't resurvey, we don't come to this one. Okay? We don't come completely in a totally different position. Then we deal with another red when I this way I will can to site survey plan behind the name of development initiative again delineated LS 3466 of 16, which is a resurvey and amendment of plot 1 and 2 of 5161. Now they tell me I say this red now be 2 plots where they combine at plot 1 and 2. Okay, so now in the resurvey, when they resurvey them now, let me resume again. So it becomes a long plot where that being put plot 1 and plot 2 where they combine so now. And when they resurvey them, now we end up forget this other one where I like so now. This one. You see, so this was done in 2016 and this one was done in 2016. So it appears as if there was some problems with those 2 properties, and that was why it was redone in 2016 when they get the 2 property, then we see that they share common boundary. But then we see 2 surveys that was done for property, then we suppose for share perfect boundary, where this red and this other red. According to the investigation we do, they surveyed 2 property in 2010. They're supposed to share a common boundary, but they end up for share. They end up for get a big gap between them. So in 2016, and can do 2 surveys there, we can get this one and this other one. So if you look, the plan the 2 properties will get the same color, this light blue, and the 2 properties then are way like a resurvey of them 2 red there. Okay, so this is the 2016. Resurveys and ready to. Then we come again. A survey sites plan, we in a development initiative program, we have been LS 2608 in 2016 again. Then look a resurvey of the other 3rd property, we give it up to 19 acres. We are in this now. So if we look at this pink, we will get a resurvey of farm. We then do this pink having 16 acres. So when they do a resurvey, we end up forget this one. We giving 19 acres. So we finally say there is also a shift of this property from the initial survey na be 2016. 2016 na be the pink, when I this. Then, sorry, the 2010 na be the pink, when I this. Then the 2016 na this one, where the resurvey. Okay. Now, these are the documents where they submit. Then another document again where they submit. Now, document for a letter of undertaking for the counter signature of survey plan where they submit for NASIT, for sign NASIT and plan from the document of 15 when LS number 1500/98 where they Gloucester and Bathurst respectively. When LS number 1500 of 1998. Okay, it submits the letter of undertaking for counter signature of survey plan submitted for NASIT at Gloucester when I subdivisional plan for 15 LS 1500 of 98. Now, again, it submits another report where they do in 2016 when I be a matter between Ekudai Thomas and our Safa, Stella Scott, Stella and Elizabeth Scott, Alpha Kuroma, Mendy Silvanos, James Bangura, Omaro Kuroma, Abulai, Pademba Bari, and Ibrahim Joe Sami. So that was an investigation where they been do where it submitted reports there again. Now, as part of the investigation again, the government have noticed this therefore do it part of property in government land. So government will therefore include as part of the check a conveyance when volume 765 page 113 dated 19th March 2016 we get a big plan we cover 1,675.3 acres of land when the government property we cover that entire area there. Now this time the one way government will submit in green, so this time we always refer to as Gloucester Saddle. This one really in green, na Gloucester Saddle property, this na government property. Okay, so make I just clear everyone in here. Let we see inside the green boundary day around here. You see the green boundary I work at Kanaya, it comes so, they come all the way now, it come. Yeah. So we see and clear, you don't see the green boundary. So these are the Gloucester Saddle boundary. These are property when are from War Department. The colonial masters now the property that this way they left with the government, now that entire Gloucester Saddle day. These are property we cover. If we look at this area, some of them property here, now property them way they over them party here. If we come, most of them party here now area them way they around Wellington, PC axis. So for some of our wedding now we feel say most of the time can go around them Wellington up the hills with the town national government property, just so that you know say this na property where government get 1,675 acres of land. We cover all the area they did. They see and did. Okay, so that we therefore include them as part of the investigation because we notice say all them claim away people they claim property without the income near their property they did. So we start with investigation. We carry out the investigation in 3 steps. The first one, we do a thorough verification of the documents and we submit. Then the second one, we do we generate a composite plan from the document that we then submit. We don't see so based on the coordinate within the plan. And I make this very clear. If you get property, we sign them now we records and waiting to show them that coordinate with that planning and we ended our records now we sign. So if they been do a wrong survey for you, you tell me say no the property now I fall, no, we don't accept them. The reason why possibly if they been do a correct survey, you can process our for don't identify say that particular area there na where we say I'm saying that the correct survey don't go survey, so for don't pick them up say either somebody didn't get there or government or party been there will not be for sign up. So you are all don't sign where if na error they been do, that is the property where we refer to who we do the investigation for plotter. So not make it very clear. So we also, as part of the investigation, we also they go do site visit for verify, written in the paper if not in the ground. And we recently now, as part of this investigation, if I see the image where being displayed at the back, we go there purposely for this investigation specifically. We go fly drone and capture everything we did at the time so that we will see clearly within the existing. So now, this now we findings, this now we make I just display the drone imagery where we will go fly. This now the drone image we just cover the small area where the investigation they cover, so just so that we know. You see, these are the drone imagery. Now this is a high resolution drone imagery where I will just zoom in on one small side, let's gonna see I want to capture just some part of the road so that we will see exactly what we talk about. So we'll see how the drone they capture. Even if not a mountain now, this we see clearly. So this now as part of our investigation, this now waiting will be do go fly them drone here. We capture everything on the ground. We'll go for the zoom in to the imagery that we see clearly what will mean. Again, we can't give the findings now waiting we get from the investigation. From the investigation, we verify the documents with them is complete. The details on the survey plan, we get the 3 plots. We have Mr. Alpha Kuruma, plot 1, we cover 9.7 acre. Plot 2, Joseph Kamara, we cover 9.9 acre. And plot 3, we have Mendy Silvanos James Bangura, we cover 9.7 acre. We did a Gloucester Bathurst Road, we get LS number 412/14. Dated 9th of May 2014. We thoroughly check them against we digital and manual records them who get the office of the director of provincial lands and was found to be not authentic. Okay? The document had not been there, now we system and not be authentic. And that's the entry where license of your records where we get in order to and that LS 412/14, a 412/14, we did plan the name within our records. Now one year sorry, we now for land within a block N37A low cost housing estate. You see, okay? So that plan we get plot 1, 2, 3, that big plot in order at the records. Okay? And we this property we talk about that LS number then for one property when be half town lot when 0.0408 acre when just half a town lot and was signed by this ministry at the 10th of March 2014 will be signed now as a subdivision of one property where they been do we be get LS number LS 1894 2004 we na for that particular property they come out. Then we also get survey plan when the name of development initiative program for land with the Bathurst Gloucester village in CFO check them was thoroughly checked. We get both plots then. Well, they don't explain this now. We check them thoroughly against both the digital and manual records of the office of the director of land, and it was not processed and signed by this ministry. So it was also not authentic. Okay, so this now the other plan we our SAFA we submit. Okay, it's not be authentic, and for all of them till the day after this meeting for the journalists, anybody who want to get extra verification, we get the records that will make available for privacy sake. We not go display now because we get other records and we deal within that. Okay. Now, a survey plan bearing the name Action for Community Transformation and Sponsorship again. We now for a land, we our SAFA be submit again we did na the area the day we cover the 2 plots, we make up the 5 acre for the other small long red plot we in day. We check out thoroughly. Now we records, and it was not processed and signed by this ministry as provided for by law. So itself not authentic in order that the records. So the 2 property then we talk about so far so good. Let me just move this. We talk about these 2 then we talk about. There are 2 the initial documents, the winner form and the during surveyor, they're not in the records. So the first one you are seeing not in the records, and this one way gets this 3 plus 1, 2, 3, and not in the records. Okay, so all of the documents are not in the records. Now they came again in survey plan guide, the name of development initiative. We get 19 acre. Now we na be 19 acre. We happen for come out from this other one. This one we talk about. So this one gonna be 19 acres. We come out from this 16 acres. We say that this 16 acres the resurvey. Itself was signed in error. Okay, it was signed in error. What does that mean? It means they don't see them along part of the process. Like we get several stages and we process and go through. We before you reach the office of the director of surveys and lands. So when you check if plan enter, then you see if you go through that process. Then if sign you wait for confirm say they enter and come and actually process. But we don't get any trace of who signed the plan enter for processing. But at the end of the day, they say they sign them as a resurvey. So now some of the things that way I'm going to explain how it can happen. So that was also signed in error. So in most of the time, we see plan they sign in error. The Survey Act, the Survey Ordinance provide for let the Director of Survey and Council and Planning be signed in error. So that is also another findings we'll get for that particular property. And for survey plan, we get development initiative program. Also, that was covering an area of plot 1 and plot 2 with a 4.4578 acre. We get this one, which is a subdivision of LS 1500/98, was thoroughly checked against the digital and manual records at the Office of the Director of Surveys and Lands, and it was not processed and signed by the ministry as provided for. So it is also not authentic. So this one, not only that they do a resurvey of this property, we can become the 10 acres Naya, but it also, even the resurvey itself not authentic. So we don't notice most of them property we then get we get another one when a property bearing the name of Ekudaisi Thomas. We na the master plan for them property we our Safa gets we na from and buy them property then they cover a total of 79.6467 acres delineated on LS 1500/98. We thoroughly check them. We find out say itself not be authentic. Okay, so it not be authentic. Now, if a master plan not authentic, then the subdivision, if you not claim, you don't get something you not claim. So anything we come up from that one day, you not claim. So these are the composite plan I don't display so. And we also get, as part of this, we get this property, we are the green, we are government property, as a ministry, we have get the responsibility for protect government property. So we find out say this other property within there, almost 90% of them, this one within there, almost 90% of them fall within the government property. This other within a 19 acre, where they do way in certain authentic, we come from could I say a property within a 2015 or so, in certain authentic, and government don't reclaim all of them property here, we find out say it inside. So when we present this report to the president, office of the president, we been tasked the chief minister for ensure say we address this issue, and it been giving specific instructions. We've been presented with all the parties them, all parties them to this conflict they are represented in that meeting, and the chief minister will instruct say, one, as the investigation report also say part of this property inside government, let we reclaim within government gets, and left within the outside, whoever involved within the outside government property, let them go to court because this is purely private property. So then we go to court, go fence themselves. So what we do this property, this area owner the CISO. Now the area of all the conflict area we fall within government property. So these are the part of all the property of blood laws. We do inside government property. If you see, these are the boundary where government gets 90 long years old, 9 council. Okay? 9 council. So this other part of the 19 acre with the outside government property here, because at the boundary this, at the boundary you can see so this other property with the outside, and this other one when I first strike on, they're already outside, and they were already outside. Even this other one really outside, we are not interested since people are claiming it privately, though with document that not authentic. The help of a court, a court ask we will provide the evidences that these documents are not authentic. But in the interest of a peaceful resolution, the instructions we had at the time was from the chief minister that we forego and demarcate this boundary and ensure say we deploy military personnel and they let none of the parties them no enter inside government property. Then number 2, and see that government repossess this property and reconsider in redistribution of the property here, let government reconsider the parties that we involved, how we go distribute some part of this property we government will reclaim to some of them as they are Sierra Leoneans and see how we aim for retain the rest again as government property and redistribute it to members of the public to some of them waiting up now, we want land, we wait for distribution to some of them. But the instruction we get and for ensure say we reclaim this property as government property and we reconsider the one that we involved by this dispute and see how we can give them some part of this land as Sierra Leoneans, and then we retain the rest and redistribute them. So this is exactly within the instruction. So we don't do this one, we don't do this investigation, we don't do this presentation to minister. They say the instructions we're going to come present today and see how as a ministry we should come again and reconsider the distribution of this property to the parties to the conflict and see. And how will they do it? Will they look at the encroachment into government property? For example, we get first strike on. We notice say a small part of this party away then come into this property. So if government therefore reconsider, let's assume say the encroachment into this property, the 5 acre, we'll never give them the 5 acre again, and this will give them possibly 2-3 acres, the case may be. That one in our management get for sit down and decide on that. Okay? We will sit down and discuss that. And this is a decision of the ministry as instructed or advised by the office of the president. So we also note that the instructions go further for say, all the recovered property then, we also not only consider the parties to the conflict, but also let we consider members of the public who are not mentioned. So, Madam Minister, I tell you plenty thank you, and this is the presentation in a nutshell. So if anybody get any question for ask, may they ask. Claude. Thank you very much. So we go want for make the Honorable Deputy Minister then say something.
Sorry.
Just at the my head on top. That site visit, actually, I mean that visit. Yeah, thank you. After the meeting from the CM's office, they instruct us for more sites. We just said more to see exactly which are the sites with the party then where they affected, where they claim this land, whether with the community. And I need that meeting, that site still being good. It was thorough, as we don't see where PH don't present. So now I think say, I don't get much to come but don't talk, all what I need to say. But some of the people when they're involved, they say they want to talk. For example, police say one talk. So these people then feel not about who men so exactly what they want to say. The party they were actually here. So Napoleon, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Minister. Thank you, Director, for the presentation. This finally the bring down what I call a nightmare in the professional life as a lawyer. In 2009, I was hired as a lawyer to represent the people in Gloucester in respect of land let me say it belonged to them. Fast forward 2010, 11, 12, the survey plan was done and brought to me, and we do registration of their instrument. Me, a lawyer, I'm not a land expert. When the people there, they take possession of the land, and this dispute here will arise. Since 2013, we've been in and out of court. I have personally received several blackmails, attacks on me, my personal self, my family, and everything. I was representing the people of Gloucester, whose documents they began represented by Mr. Alpha, Mr. Mendy of blessed memory, and Mr. Kamara, I think says we don't die. I stood up to represent them in my professional capacity. It's rather unfortunate this whole thing can turn out for me between me and Madam Hawa Safa. It was between the people of Gloucester and the other claimants, and me represent them as lawyer. And I'm ready to represent them now, today, and even in the hereafter if I have the opportunity. Because I know these are the ordinary people. I know the life attached to that land, and I know they were living on that land, and I know they were desirous of having authentic title to their land, so they will for utilize their land for their benefit and that of their children. However, when the ministry don't come, they don't do the investigation, the expert, I don't have that professional competence for denying what they have done. On behalf of me client them, we don't look, we will go further and study the report properly, but I'm going to go through and with a thorough presentation, I go on for accept this report here on their behalf, and kindly plead again to the ministry as the custodian of land, and how the minister end, and when you're doing the consideration of redistribution, those people who are attached to this land, who've lived their life for this land, let them be considered so that they will get part of this land here for continuing their lives, something they have always fought for and I support the people of Gloucester and the people of Bathurst. These are people and they have right to that land because of waiting them. They don't live there all their lives. Their grandparents, their people, they be their own people and they live there. So on that note, as a lawyer, we will represent them. I don't know if Mr. Alpha don't sack me as lawyer. If we still continue to forget me as lawyer, please say I don't speak on their behalf. And we want for coming again, and the ministry consider them as first priority in the redistribution of this land, so that they will have authentic document and able for utilizing land without any money disturbing. So I want to tell you that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good afternoon. I mean, that's a bit last. Representing DEEP. So
representing who?
DEEP, Development Initiative.
Okay, Development Initiative. Well, that is our SAFA.
So we don't get this report, and we don't get subsequent reports from this ministry before this time. We don't go through this report or do anything before we get some. And then we don't watch the report thoroughly, and then we've been going at the site and see where we gonna project and take me around the area for see how, I mean, when I come about for claiming the property again and for being the property of the state. From your understanding when it comes to land and government, and continuity, past one time it will be claimed here that whatever they done happen, the previous government not apply to the land ministry again, because the law not they apply again, because we see waiting they done happen and we see waiting they happen now under the ministry, where documents don't be cancelled and then people the land and don't be taken from them, not to be authentic. But not that we did here for. This land issue, and from the same people who are in the ministry, you don't write multiple reports. Plenty reports don't be written, and their reports then they and don't be addressed to stakeholders in the community. And the same reports, and like even this last one from the somebody we producer, I don't know, Mr. Jallo, and if you write other reports then maybe don't they come up from this ministry. So a little surprising for let the ministry come and tell me again about waiting then the previous heads of this ministry we don't do. And notwithstanding, we get reports of this property and how they register, and we don't see the role and responsibility of the Ministry of Land, not for just signing documents. If this document are property of the state, the encounter there is surveillance, and now you're responsible for just take money and sign. When investigate their properties there, at any time when they come, because we somehow responsible for the problems when it happen. But you know, you come and sign a document where you don't sign a state land. You sign them as a private property, then kind of resolve it again as a private property. You take money again when you don't be paid. I don't know how that gets to be explained anyway, but I mean that would be taken. I mean then we explain that. And this don't happen, and reports they don't come out. So the ministry will explain to the debtor, you understand, and the projections how it happened. And then it comes to, and in the case of first strike on where I see, we like na Pademba in portion. I want to believe say there was a court judgment, or there was a judgment in court for that particular area. And the ministry will explain that, because I think which the land was gotten from, then this countenance part of the property and say, okay, because of a judgment was given in that, I mean for that particular portion, so it not fall inside the government. So it's a little surprising to me, for more than 5 ministers of lands they don't come, they don't know see that was a government area. As this ministry, and I don't count state, this is a government area. Or is it that all governments will be don't pass, the lands the way they give, authentic, now this government now authentic, we need to know that. Because we confused now.
Okay, let's start with the very last one. You talk about why other governments they don't pick them up. Why now they pick them up? Well,
the same people in the ministry.
Yes. Now we pick them up. The administration changed over time. The ministry, the same ministry, but the administration changed. Okay. Now, one thing we clear is, and you said you agree with me, if the wrong thing and only do them over time for a very long time, it don't become a norm. Not make them right, because it don't become a norm. So if we pick them up, we need to put them right. We will put them right this time, and that is what exactly we have done. And that is the reason when you see the Ministry of Lands now as a sanitized Ministry of Lands, okay? And not like the Ministry of Lands today, because anybody be free. Land be don't turn a kind of like free meal for everybody. People that they see land, they're not even investigate and go and take them. That was a norm at the time. And waiting we don't do it, waiting they could pick all NTR now. Now because before now we get fragmented records. We get with billing and New England. We get all billing and they get all documents and they different archives then. We also get some yeah. So imagine something they can have for process, then we get for check all the files and go to their offices and with them all they don't store archives and they go back to New England before they get for sign the plan. So they go waste all the time. And we are not saying it was right that they didn't check. But then, because the system not been provided inside infrastructure, there was no digital system, will not be done transform the records and right. So we have been getting constraints at the time. Okay, what we don't do now, the modern day Ministry of Lands don't do is to digitize and transform all records. In fact, if I not say most of we process them now, or they carry out online. You can sit down at the comfort of your house. You apply for most of our services for leasehold, freehold, and permits. They get all of that done. So in the same process, we apply, we check all the documents that we upload, we verify them to the digital records and back we don't digitize. And we'll get everything. And we still keep the old manual records and back in case we get hacking or whatever. So that's for answer to your problem. That's number one. Then number two, we get waiting with a call land laundering. I tell you clearly. Now we get people and we they believe say they can falsify documents then in come, then apply for like building permit or they come for doing a resurvey. This is now a normal wrong pick. Now the new trend that one day now. And that has been there. This bentel when they pick them up, somebody got falsified document then. The way you tell them, say, no, this document is falsified, we are not going to do a resurvey of this, we're not going for amendment, no nothing. So if I wouldn't make the document for you, they subject them to further CID investigation. And so these are the same people who really begin for negotiate, well, we're not take some. You just had the story in the Bible where two women in the claim one picking. If now you get time, you're not going to sell it and go shit. But they are so willing, as you begin the talk, they say, well, I make a long come for long and take some and give you the balance. And we didn't encourage that. We didn't take them. We didn't take them, and we not the only take out. We don't lock plenty as I'm speaking. Too many of the people in Pademba or prison. So this is exactly what we are doing now. When you come with falsified documents, we need to tolerate that. And we system they pick them up now very clearly. Yeah. So these are the same documents we deal with. And within that this records and my presentation, I make it very clear. If you want verification after, we are open. Our records are open for people to see and clearly say, then document I will check, say 45, a 45. We will show you clearly say 45. Yeah? The document where I could see get for 1998 LS1500, we will show you. If I didn't have some of the document that we don't catalog for publications to the members of the public. Very soon, we'll go online and publish falsified documents then we people and don't get where they move around. When I go be shocked. When I go see the list we make, the public is straight forget land. We get for fair with members of the public. We get for fair with strong influential people who say they get money. We get for fair to people who say they work against through the judiciary system. And we get for fair to people then we feel say they get talks them at the ground for make sure say we retrieve the land and give to people them we they don't get where they deserve them. So that is exactly. Now very soon we'll publish this when I go begin see. We saw that one person they claim 400 acres, 200 acres, 500 acres, 800 acres. The document and they will display for the public and we invite you all back for come and see. They will not capture all of the documents again. So these are some of the things that we the Ministry of Land do recently, and because we don't go purely digital, I make we pick all of them in there. I tell you.
No. I want the party to the land.
Yes, I want. Good afternoon, everybody, Madam Minister. Let God bless you all as we dinner here, because this still don't take. As we brought at the sea, Brother Napoleon, remember we, Tambadauda, remember in the days of Konehima, Farmer, Melvin Cocker, and Tarawali and so forth and so on. In 2003, I will come into Ministry of Land because there was a lot of confrontation, a huge amount of land in the under, where they left by the colonial people, the British people. When you go there, you see the legacy, there are people that pull up. Or some of who get the evidences, the years, they will be snap, and will bring up to the ministry. So since that time, we engage with the ministry tell we, for form committee, which we did, we come, we work with the ministry, we use Ubia handsome, we brush, we pull we own money them, we contribute for put baking stem, SLS baking stem, by the Ministry of Lands. Then the plot, after then Ebola come, everything be suspended, they say they don't want crowd. We did on that, going on. People effect from this angle, this effect from this angle. We did Ministry of Land giving letter of offer. That was in 2014. We did, I can present them. I will be several ministers in I am. Sometimes they can take them, they talk, then they say, when I will come in, when you come for say, and a problem, and they tell you, we not get lawyer, God nine our lawyer. Amen. We not get minister, and God nine our minister. Because we always in a as Sierra Leonean, we get right to get property. We do our community ministry. We not be doing the intention for let we get 10 acres on we own. But as a Sierra Leonean, they will get little. Then the community, as a Gloucester, when this land day, they for benefit by building, waiting, cemetery, community center, hospital. It don't happen. We put all that things that they will outline. All of a sudden at autonomous. Now we sit down. And they see one person they come, they sell over hundreds of acres, which is Augusta Camara. When they turn in the Augusta and machine, the ministry, they hire them for cable for go work now. Now it dictates, I don't know whatever relationship be there between former minister Sadi, that he listens so much that the way will get up to we better, he will come, they will give promises. We tire for work. You know, so in that case, I don't hear you with name at all. I make a call a mentioner. And we, as youths and people of Gloucester, but we don't die now. But we don't turn big man. But at least share the community benefits and let some people benefit. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm not being for say this. I'm not being for say this, but let I bring this for your information. When I'm in the response to the Representative for Development Initiative Program, I tell you say this only happened because the administration don't change now. I go one for inform you say there was a time in this ministry where this land not until they don't get issue. Okay? Sure. Not until they don't get issue. Yeah. From the time when assets and they acquire property them day. Now I was the chatting officer at the time. There was a property where they said because I know say it fall on government property, I refuse for processor. Okay? And I refuse for process that particular property day. That's 2012, 2013, we but tell you say, before even going to audience for bed, I don't get all the records and while I've been there starting officer, I refuse for process them. I even had problems with Mr. Kuroma at the time representing the people there. I said, no, Mr. Kuroma, I'm sorry, I can't. So we had serious tension as a chatting officer. I not really process them at all. And what they did at the time, they go work at some other way. That particular refusal, they kicked me out of office. The then boss at the time kicked me out of the office. They went ahead and signed that plan. And that plan they become the most controversial plan ever signed. Because they didn't listen to my advice. And I was kicked out of that in office by my boss because I refused for signing that for process and intended. And that matter went to the ACC, they investigated, it became a national issue. The president had to call to resolve that issue there because he reported the matter. So I come and this for just for showing that some of the team them. When we say this is not right, we need a compromiser. I was just the chatting officer at the time and I rejected it. And up to this day, I rejected them. I reject them on one ground, the land is state land and it's government property. So if you ask why make that now, this administration changed. At that time, not in the captain seat, it was different now that I'm in the captain seat, okay? So that's not the reason we make it.
So we just take 2 more speakers. Just 2.
Good afternoon all. I want to thank God for this wonderful team.
we will all be together as family. And also for tell the minister, thank you, the deputy, director, and also Ms. Mao, and all other people who work in the Ministry of Lands. Because if it, when we start this process, this latter part, we see say they all go up the bush, we all work till we will reach this house today. And just advise our own for it to we all. They don't humiliate people, we get good repetition for this land there so. Like I mean, daddy take Napoleon as a lawyer. 11 years back before they married, we all did it on that side. If daddy don't die, other people they don't die. You two men they don't die in that place. Only thing we can say, I tell the people the other day we minister today, I said because we greedy, both Bathurst and Gloucester. Because we selfish and only make Ministry of Land body. Yeah. If we be able to see, you can imagine, we daddy get 9 acres. We talk about 79. If the other person get 9, you pull 40 or 50 acre land go left, go for able to manage yourself, ala no commodity. But not because we greedy and selfish. And then we do over 20 years, we don't fit for this land. People don't die, they're not able to enjoy it. So me, I just want to talk to the ministry. Some of we, the people don't die, they're not even left land for me. And we really fight for land. Now we get our siblings there, we're able to get with the other people there. So we are praying that God continue to help people. Like this our months, they don't humiliate them, Napoleon, they don't talk all anything on social media about them. Oba, walk the good work, God will bless you. Amen. We pray that God continue to bless this ministry and then sanity. The director, let God bless you all. Thank you.
So before we get the last speaker, I just encourage you all. PH don't make them clear. You say if you have to verify the presentation you don't make, the office open to we all. So please, if we will get plenty of questions for us after this conference, and I'll come to the office to a later, I'm sure you will make yourself available and I will verify all documents that we have to verify. Because we don't have to spend the entire day inside our today. So after the speaker, we will close for today.
Mr. Sama, Bathurst, Junction. I thank Mr. Dauda because of so many warmth we get and the Ministry of us. Not we didn't take for come out with this wonderful document. It's a hectic job. But there's one thing where I want to put to the ministry. If they look at and say the ministry, they run away from their duty and responsibility. What do I mean by that? And here we did, Mr. Minister been the say, and I do believe that the land where they in this country belongs to Sierra Leone government. And therefore, I even be surprised when I see the land director, they show say this part of the land government get them. You know, ladies and gentlemen, most people the way they call their name and they're not to create name the way me area. So it tells you that we are all grabbers. So me to me, I believe say the ministry will take more into it and make more policy about land ownership in this country, in this peninsula. We need to do more and make better laws. We will make really that, I mean, how can somebody own, let's say, 1 acre? It's not possible. You know, and who gave it to him, or not even receive that deal of gift from people, so all of them think they will get a lot of carol inside the whole thing. We are not asking, answering the question for now. So I stop so fast.
Hello. Good afternoon. Again, I'm Theophilus Johnson, winner of the Banner Bathurst. And I'm really happy for the part of this meeting. And I believe this will not happen long for now. Because Bathurst, Regent, Charlotte, Gloucester, previously, before we said the mountain villages, we are all interrelated. But the land issue in this country don't create serious problem.
And I'm happy, as I speak, yes, that Ministry of Lands don't call me for really tell me waiting an actual status of that land when they will fetch for. We don't tell the fetch. The amount of people who will not die, we can't hear that. We don't talk about that. And some of we, when are stakeholders, them, when are leaders and community, we don't get people bad name. There was a time with community people tell we say we connive with government, but put the land at the hand. Because we believe say we and the government, we don't affect government too. We they appeal to government for see a need for support the citizens. One thing we director give a very comprehensive report of waiting. But one thing we stand out very clear we look for address it today. And they see that problem come up from Charlotte again. We something we can consider on our back. We're not able to establish waiting an actual boundary between them villages. When they don't get all these problems, we don't get so good here. Because if I don't know, say me that Theophilus Johnson of Bathurst village, Yana Bathurst, Yana Gloucester, there is no need. I will let Bathurst for go claim land and Gloucester. It's not possible. Like my brother said just now, most of the people who request for land, their land they need. They hear the names there. Oh, that's Sabina. Who are they? They're Theophilus Johnson. They're Hamilton. They're Gabidon. You understand it? So, you know, a lot of things. But one thing where I want to say, tell me thank you, the ministry don't come in. And we don't take on this. Like the Honorable Minister say that appeal to the Ministry of Lands, let them consider the people there. We don't stick and they don't fight for this land. We don't die. We don't fight for ensure that place they did like I did so. But director, remember say in 2016, 2017, when I'm calling to a meeting, you and the former minister Diana Konomani was signing that Gloucester Saddle. And I'm sure we say we identify the state land, their communities are with him, and have a benefit. But to date, for me from 2018, I know the work at 80. I don't see benefits from the community. We don't see other communities, the Ministry of Lands, don't see other communities, the neighbor community, Charlotte. They don't care. But if we get 1,665 acres of land, we cover the boundary between Bathurst and Gloucester. Then now, we don't forget land for basic things that we need as a community. And even the people that will not occupy this land at the time, where some people present documents, yes, we want to take responsibility. The Ministry of Lands will take responsibility as well. In as much as we said they take responsibility, whether we work about now, or some of you the kind of ministry one document, will these people that will talk to we, will be survey or will go survey for we. So if the system not be okay at the time for accommodate with documentations and what we do, Ministry of Lands said they will take responsibility. But as we go forward, in as much as you don't tell we say the land in as a state land, where we want to give the land out or we want for Sheba, we want to consider the two major villages the way they are blocked ahead. Yes. So that at the end of the day, we want to say we don't go. That peace we want, and the both villages in the day. Because I will tell you again, there was a time when the council of Gloucester, first person. There was a time me, I don't get my pastor Gloucester. Nobody don't get my Gloucester pastor Bathurst. So if we don't consider so here today, I want to appreciate the ministry, the minister, everybody will come for this occasion. But when we consider the people there, we will not suffer our community. The way they did, then we say benefit going forward. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. We don't conclude everything. So, Page, there could be tell now. We got plenty of for submission. Then we'll come later. Then we'll be. That's what you said. You can say okay. So then we see you. Finally, let's see you.
Good afternoon, everybody. We want to say thanks to the Honorable Minister and the entire team will be here today. I think today, many councillors are one of the councillors from the Western area who are listening. Extension Gloucester. Today na call and judgment day. But one disappointing thing we may want to say that the fact from where we don't get engagement as leaders whenever we come to this matter. One person they will not see. And then one of the key persons on all 10 representatives in the same. We need to make them very clear when I was suffer. But no sooner we come here just now, you go begin see articles and they go in the name. Which of course, some of you not going to take that again. I want to say this to the minister. And we're going to take responsibility for we own community. Our suffer from all indications they will only attend meetings, how we get the land from the people. But you not respect the people. Even when you, the minister or the ministry, whenever they call on a name as, when they still go at the site on verification, you know they go as the representative the same. And that are complete insubordination. He is also a member of parliament now. Not only Terrain activist, but now she's a member of parliament. And if government official call you for good, but all he tell me they dodge. But whenever the meeting done, you will see all the articles fly all over. We all are disputed the cause for what will happen. We not go take land anymore. After whatever we don't agree here, we too go on to say as authorities, we too not agree here, we go enforce them. Yeah, we too agree here, you are right, we go enforce them. That will not be compromise them. When the community don't lose all this while, oh, they will say they get that, talks and they come, other things, we don't go tolerate anymore. And I'm happy for the ministry that they already get a system they don't put where they want to go for all the lands and now they already deploy securities there on the ground. But we said now Gloucester we don't receive few securities that we do on the ground. And we will work with them to ensure say the right thing happen. Land business not easy, we all know. But when they pan also one man will go 20, 40, 50 acres, the other people will deprive. Because they take and say you have money. We will not take that anymore from any other person. So we are ready and we are determined for ensuring to work with the ministry. All this while it's over, all years they don't know, but this particular case, it's over a year. Oh, they belong go to the president, or let them go reach at this point. So whatever the issue we come here today, we now the whole, and we are ready to implement it to the fullest. And Mr. Minister, we found in India, the Bathurst in man with the talk Jason. Gloucester, Leicester, and all the other sides, especially Gloucester, Bathurst, and Charlotte. With social amenities, it's a very grave concern. We need the number or each way the way government don't take. Out of that one that will tell you say will not even get 2 or 3 acres as community. Now each of the communities. It's a very grave concern. And waiting that will concern whenever government they take their land and the first thing doing planning and for member the community. But I will tell you it's a grave challenge. And when they challenge there they come, later they know kind of the ministry. Now the council say they go. We want market to not get. We want this to not get land. Now we they get that thing. And now if we live for not correct things, it will be difficult for we. So lastly, we also concerned about the dump site in the district. No, not just about Leicester, Gloucester. And we already are half of way there. We already are saying West who are now there. If we are not done, we not get site for 2 dirty. It's very serious concern now. If we not address this issue now, it will be addressed again. Now only now for land there we did. We go able to bomb all long road. But this was we really need for closer. Thank you very much.
On that note, we conclude this meeting now. Just one or two things quickly. I see somebody maybe announcing himself. Now, Ophelius, now, don't see, now. Hey, man. Okay. You know him, man. You know the Bathurst him, man. What are your name?
Theophilus Johnson.
At Bond Island, you come out. So not great return. Go in the senior systems. Looks like a real Leone and a bounty come out. Most of the way they claim that they because don't see. Go on a Bond Island. They still say today. They don't come out. When the fans go for the kaya. So not talking of Litonian, I've lost your lost track. So I'm going to tell you thank you. You know, we have to work together. And what's important also, we go to the community when I keep the peace. We do the best as a government to make sure everyone get access in homeland.
Yes, sir. Amen.
On access for help you follow that. Very important. Zachariah say community facilities, land for community facilities. Therefore, work hard to make sure to make provision for anything. Director, make sure see there is provision for some mistakes. Yeah? In under the council, owner says and today they can report to me. Inside the way government they don't mark over 20, 30 years. When I dump site, I don't go sell all. I don't give people like all. They don't give shop a day. So now when I say self, I don't cause that. Both the municipal and the rural district. They where the council. We ask where they go, it's not council seller. Whether it's not council here. That's not your role as a council. That's what you role. And for make use of the land, I ain't due for. Not to let go begin the seller. But then a different thing, we can compile the documents, say, oh, they ready? And let the law Milos come and show them the broker. Yes, and the state property. The state talking council, the council listen. Council they have no business. This is state land. The state land, they give them for a purpose. So if you don't get use of and return it to the state, or we can compile this day. And we say, really freedom to go with the new. That go to the new freedom. Because as long as I know in the interest of the state, I need freedom. I need freedom at all. At the point in time, certain people therefore take certain responsibility for the advancement of the state. So this question of we shy from taking the decision, no, we take her. And I don't see one today from this report. No, so we don't take the decision. So we pursue her. Now keep the community quiet. There should be peace. Anything happen, when I wait for the directorate of service, we'll get back to her. Yeah? So now thank you. Let's say, peaceful and all. Thank you.